7 things I would do different as a CPA student is what I'll be sharing with you today so as to enlighten someone who is doing CPA or is looking forward to doing CPA so that you can do better than I did now that you'll be having more information and you will be more enlightened. But before then, let us do the intro. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for always coming back to my channel. I'm so grateful that you always find time to watch my videos and to support my channel by subscribing. If you're new, you're so much welcome onto this channel and feel free to join this family by subscribing. Let's get right into today's video. The first thing that I would do different is that I would go for being a part-time student instead of being a full-time student. Why I would do that is so that I can look for somewhere to work as a volunteer, and that is how I would be spending my daytime doing, working somewhere as an accounts trainee or just a volunteer in the accounts department so that I can build my knowledge and skills in the field of accounting as well as experience. And I think this would be a great thing to do because now you can imagine 3 years later or 4 years later after college, I would be having 3 years or 4 years of experience as compared to someone who just attended lessons as a full-time student and would be having very minimal experience of just 2 or 3 months of experience which they went for internship. And that way I would have equipped myself for the job market with experience and also knowledge and skills. Let's get to the second point. The second thing that I would do different is that I would apply for jobs and be attending interviews, not with an intention of getting a job, but so that I can be able to learn and experience how different organizations do their interviews and how their hiring process is like. For example, you will find that in some organizations, they will give you aptitude tests and then they call you for a one-on-one interview. Others, they will do virtual interviews, and some they will give you practical accounting questions. You do first and then you do a verbal interview. So what I'll do is that I would keep on applying for different jobs and attending interviews so that I can familiarize myself with how different organizations go about hiring people, and also so as to boost my confidence when it comes to facing the panelists, as well as to familiarize myself with the kind of questions that different employers ask. And that way I would be more informed, more exposed, and more aware of what really happens when someone is looking for a job. And so I would be more prepared and more equipped even for that time now that I would be looking for a job after college. The third thing I would do different is that I would do continuous and consistent revision from the beginning of the semester to the end of the semester using past papers and revision kits, and this would help me to reduce the pressure that comes with revising the last minutes, and also this would help me reduce my chances of getting refers or failing in exams. And that brings me to the fourth point. As you all know, when it comes to CPA exams, they are no joke, and therefore, if you don't prepare yourself well, then you are likely to keep on getting refers from time to time. And the whole thing of getting refers and keeping on repeating units is such a waste of time. And you may not realize it, especially if you are so young, you are just from high school, and so you think that you have all the time in the world. But the thing is, it is such a waste of time to keep on repeating units, and you get to realize that later on in life that the time you kept repeating units, you wasted a lot of time which you would have utilized to do better things with your life and to build your life. So how would I ensure that I minimize my chances of failing? What I'll do is that I would be more committed to my classwork, to my studies. Like, for example, I would ensure that I faithfully attend all the lessons unless there is something that I need to attend to and I can't avoid missing lessons. I would also ensure that I pay maximum attention in class to the lecturers. I would also ensure that I do assignments, I participate in class, I understand what is being taught. I would ensure that I do assignments and also participate in group discussions. And that way, I'm sure that I would have reduced my chances of getting refers and keeping on repeating units. And let's get to the next point. Something else that I would do different is that I would be very intentional with the content I consume by listening or by watching. So instead of spending most of my free time to just watch movies and scroll on social media without doing any specific thing or without learning anything, I would ensure that whatever I watch is something that will help me to be more knowledgeable in the field of accounting. Like, for example, you find that here on YouTube, there are so many tutorials which have been done by different accountants explaining different things, like, for example, how to file VAT, how to file NHIF, NSSF. Others have done videos on things like what an accountant do in a day, what an accounts payable do in a day, what an accounts receivable do, how to do stock management, and those kind of accounting contents is what I would spend most of my free time on. And I'm not saying that it is wrong to watch movies and to get entertained and to be on social media. All I'm saying is I wouldn't spend most of my free time to do that, because at the end of the day, I will not have improved myself, especially career wise. And so I would ensure that I invest most of my time in watching valuable content. And that way, I would be more knowledgeable on what really happens in the field of accounting, in different accounting positions, in different organizations, and that would equip me even for the job market. And let's get to the next point. Something else I'll do different is that I'll do short courses online. These days with the internet, there are so many courses online, some of them which are free to do and others are paid for, and they are so much affordable. And also there are different organizations who do training via Zoom or Google Meet or such kind of platforms. And so from time to time, I would ensure that I do a short course and also join those trainings from different organizations, and that way I would have equipped myself more with knowledge and skills in the field of accounting. And let's get to the last point. Last but not least is that I would ensure that I interact with experts or simply people who are more experienced in the field of accounting. That is the people who are working as accountants. Now, one thing is that if you just surround yourself with friends who are from school or your peers, then you are going to have much limited knowledge, because everything they know is what you also know. So I would ensure that I interact with people who are working now that they are more knowledgeable and much more exposed than I am. And so I would gain knowledge from them. And if you are there and you're a student, I would urge you that interact with the people who are working. Get to know what they do at work, which positions they are in, what exactly they do in a day, which tasks they do, and how they do them. And that way you'll be more knowledgeable, and also things like the challenges they face. And that way you are going to gain much more knowledge. And I'm not trying to say that it is wrong to have friends who are peers or who are from school. It is okay to have them, but also make sure that you surround yourself with people who are more knowledgeable, so that you can be able to build more of your knowledge and exposure. And that brings us to the end of the video. I hope that this video was of help to you. And if it was, make sure that you give this video a like and also share it. And also remember to subscribe to this channel. And if you have any question, you can always ask me in the comment section down below. Or also you can reach me out on other social media platforms, and you can also email me and I will be able to respond to you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. See you in my next video. Shalom, shalom, shalom.